Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Home is Where the Dark Is. This is Alex Crescioni. And if you're watching this video on the day of upload, July 15th, this is my 4-year Soberversary. I've been clean from alcohol for 4 years, and it feels amazing. But this video is for you. If you're struggling with addiction of any kind, drugs, alcohol, this video might help you. And I'm not here to preach sobriety. This video is mainly for those that have recognized that maybe they have a problem, or they definitely have a problem, and they're trying to figure out the steps forward to sobriety, to bettering their life. So I'm going to go ahead and read a little bit, and then I'm going to speak freely. So here are 10 keys to long-term sobriety. Seek connection over isolation. Addiction thrives in solitude. Sobriety is sustained through communion. Let others into your story, even the unfinished parts. Question the myth of the suffering artist. Pain may inform art, but it doesn't have to dictate it. Real mastery comes not from chaos, but from clarity. Craft rituals that nourish, not numb. Repetition creates meaning. Replace destructive habits with rituals that honor your spirit and sharpen your creativity. Make peace with boredom and silence. In stillness, the truth of who you are emerges. Let boredom become a gateway to presence, not a trigger for escape. Tell the truth, especially to yourself. Self-deception is seductive. Sobriety asks for radical honesty, even when it's inconvenient or unflattering. Tend to the inner landscape. Recovery isn't just abstinence, it's a return to self. Therapy, spiritual practice, and emotional literacy are tools of reclamation. Resist the illusion of arrival. Just as art is never truly finished, neither is recovery. Sobriety is a practice, not a destination. Transmute longing into creation. The ache that once reached for a drink can become the same force that writes a song, paints a canvas, or heals a wound. Stay humble in the face of success. Accolades can be as dangerous as failures if they lull you into forgetfulness. Gratitude keeps you grounded in truth. Offer what you've learned. What once felt like shame becomes wisdom when shared. Your story may be someone else's lighthouse. Here are 10 outside-the-box changes people often experience after being sober for many years. These go beyond the typical better health or improved relationships and dig into more nuanced, long-term shifts. A changed sense of time and memory. Long-term sobriety often alters how you perceive and remember time. Without the haze of substances, memories become sharper, and the past may feel more vivid or even surreal compared to the present. Some people notice they finally begin to process events from years ago in new, deeper ways. Rediscovery of boredom as a creative tool. What once felt like an emotional threat, boredom, often becomes a space for ideas, creativity, or self-connection. Long-term, sober individuals often develop a unique relationship with doing nothing, where boredom transforms into reflection or creation. Your identity becomes decentralized from sobriety. Early sobriety may feel like it defines you, but years down the road, people often find their identity no longer revolves around being sober. It becomes just one part of a multifaceted life, not the central narrative. Subtle shifts in humor and entertainment preferences. Your sense of humor and the kind of entertainment you enjoy often changes. What was once funny or appealing in active use, chaotic humor, self-destructive characters, might become uncomfortable or uninteresting. Making room for more nuanced tastes. An unexpected relationship with control and surrender. Sustained sobriety often builds a quiet confidence in letting go. People learn that trying to control everything often leads to chaos, and ironically, by surrendering to uncertainty, they gain more genuine control over their lives. Delayed emotional development starts to catch up. Years into sobriety, you might notice you're emotionally maturing in ways you skipped during the years of use. You begin to feel like you're becoming the age you actually are, emotionally, not just physically. A deepened appreciation for small rituals. Without the rituals of drinking or using, people often build new ones: morning routines, evening tea, long walks, journaling, etc. These small acts become sacred anchors that provide stability and joy. You lose certain friendships and don't miss them. Over time, you may realize that some old friendships weren't based on real connection, but shared dysfunction. The longer you're sober, the easier it becomes to let go of toxic dynamics without guilt. Improved decision-making by trusting gut instincts. Long-term sobriety hones intuition. Without the numbing effects of substances, many people become more sensitive to their internal cues and better at listening to them when making decisions. A strange grief for your former self. Even when your old life was chaotic, there can be a bittersweet grief for the person you were during those times. You might feel compassion, nostalgia, or even mourning for that version of you, while still feeling grateful to have moved on. So if you clicked on this video, you're probably struggling with alcohol in some way. Maybe you've already hit rock bottom. Maybe you have just realized, okay, maybe I have a problem. And I'm not talking to the people that, there's people that can live their whole life. They have their glass of wine at dinner and maybe a couple of drinks on the weekend and they're fine. I'm not talking about those type of people. I'm talking about the people like you and me, people that at a certain point have let alcohol be the worst thing that could ever happen to us in our life. And, I've made some very stupid decisions, but only because I was under the influence of alcohol. And I guarantee you, most of you that are watching this now, pretty much all the dumb decisions you've made in your life have something to do with alcohol. Yeah, there's been things I've done that I'm definitely not proud of. If I was sober, it would have never happened. But some of us have that demon. It's alcohol is one of the most insidious, fucked up parts of our society today because it's the one drug, and alcohol is a drug. It's the one drug that if you don't do it, you have a problem. It's like, oh yeah, Alex doesn't drink, so, it's like, yeah, I decided to stop poisoning myself. It's a thing, it makes people uncomfortable. People that drink, or maybe it's a big part of their identity. And that's another thing that is extremely hard about being in the music industry or just being a musician or in entertainment, because alcohol is everywhere and it's legal. So extremely hard to get away from. And at a certain point, it will grip you and it'll take hold of you if you don't get control. And hopefully you survive it. And I was lucky enough to survive it. Now, the most important thing is to be honest with yourself and to ask for help. If you can't quit cold turkey, you have to ask for help. And fortunately, I was able to do it. And if you have any questions about that, you can always reach out. But a lot of you will struggle or won't be able to do cold turkey, so you need to reach out to someone. You need to go to AA, you need to reach out to family, you need to reach out to maybe another friend who's sober, or even other friends that you trust, and ask for help and ask them what you should do, because this is not something most of us can tackle on our own. Fortunately, I was able to eventually find decent support around me. That's also difficult, especially if you're in a relationship with someone who doesn't really get it. Maybe they even see that you're struggling, but they don't really care because they want to keep drinking. Like, every single relationship I've been in, alcohol has always been a part of the relationship. And even when there were signs like, or I've voiced my concerns to a few partners, like, yeah, I need to cut back, or yeah, I need to stop. Yet the support would be extremely lacking. And it's unfortunate. And you'll really learn who your friends are, who loves you and who doesn't. And the most important thing is to ask for help. So if you feel like you're struggling, if you know you're struggling and you need to make a change, then it's up to you. So this really applies. Like, I don't care who's listening to this. If you're a homeless person with your Obama phone, like there's literally a homeless guy that lives in the alley outside my door that I've actually started talking to. But he just sleeps there in the alley. He'll be there like a few nights a week, and I'll say hi to him. I'll bring him drinks, but he calls it, like, I guess it's an Obama phone, or it's like free phones. So he sits there and he watches stuff on YouTube, and he probably has email and all that. So I don't care if you're homeless and you're struggling and you don't know what to do. The first step is just to reach out for help. Okay, if you don't have anyone to reach out to, you can send me an email. I guarantee you I will respond. Maybe not immediately, but I will respond. So if you don't know what to do, if you just need to vent, if you're trying to figure out your situation, I will read your email and I will respond. You can be literally a homeless person that is struggling, all the way up to anybody, literally anyone, a homeless person to, everyone knows, like, celebrities struggle, like high net worth people struggle really badly with alcohol. And it's not easy. It's not easy to get sober, but once you do, it will be the best thing you've ever done. I guarantee it. It's the clarity. You'll realize, how many years you wasted, how much more you could have accomplished, how much more you could have helped others. And the sad thing is that everyone has a purpose in life. I truly believe that. And a lot of us get stuck in the world of alcohol, and it's because we're hiding. We don't want to face ourselves. Maybe something from our past. Well, probably. It's always about the past, right? It's always that prison of the past, But what's beautiful about sobriety is the clarity, and it forces you to face yourself, and then you can own it and move forward. This video is about you. Reach out, get the help you need, because you have a purpose, whether it's making music, writing, teaching. Your life matters, your life is worth something, and you deserve to be happy, but you have to get through this. You have to face it. And it's not going to be easy, but you can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. And if you need help, if you need to vent, zero judgment, email me, stygiansound@gmail.com. And that is the value I'm offering you today in this video. I will read it, I will respond, and offer whatever insight I possibly can. Because, maybe you've been through some more crazy shit than I have, but I guarantee you I can relate. I guarantee you I've been through similar things, and no judgment whatsoever. And if you have the time, if you have the capability, and you want to go a little bit deeper, shoot me an email and we can book a Zoom call. And I'd love to hear about your story. I'd love to hear about your life and how you're trying to better yourself. And I can offer any insights I possibly can.